So one of the biggest controversies probably of all time in the comic book fandom world or whatever, it sounds so goddamn nerdy to say, but it's basically what it is Batman v Superman. And is Batman v Superman the greatest fucking movie of all goddamn time? Like, nothing compares to BVS. It is the greatest superhero movie of all time. Everything else sucks in comparison. It is a piece of majestic, untouchable art. Or is it the biggest piece of, crap you've ever watched in your life? I think that there really isn't a whole lot of in between, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to the theatrical version. Like, people either think that movie was awful, like an abhorrent joke, or they think it was like the best thing ever. I tend to lean more towards the best thing ever, but I will say that I've rewatched Batman v Superman quite a number of times. Now, one thing you all may not know about me is that before Batman v Superman, I would say that The Dark Knight was my favorite comic book movie of all time. With The Dark Knight, I've seen it probably over 40 times, definitely over 50. I mean, I've seen that movie a lot. I can recite lines probably from entire scenes. Now, I haven't seen it in a few years, so it would be spotty. But there was a period where I could recite that entire movie, like all 2 hours and 20 minutes of that screenplay. I probably had memorized. So my point being is that movie had a lot of rewatchability. It was a phenomenal film, and it had a lot of rewatchability. You would think that Batman v Superman would have that same level of rewatchability, given the score, who's done by the same individual, Hans Zimmer, for The Dark Knight and Batman v Superman. And to be honest with you, the score in Batman v Superman is way better than the score in Dark Knight. It is one of the best scores I've ever heard in a film. Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL absolutely killed it on that film. Great acting. It's one of the most iconic crossovers of all time. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman on the big screen for the first time. Batman and Superman fighting each other for the first time in over 75 years in their histories, coming together on the big screen. I mean, there's so much about the movie that should make it incredibly rewatchable, but I think that it really isn't, in my personal experience. Coming from somebody that loves the movie, it's not particularly rewatchable. It's not something that, like, if I have a friend that's seen the movie, we're like, yo, let's rewatch BVS, like, let's just chill and dish out 2.5 hours rewatching this movie, because there's parts of the movie that are a little slow. And there's one way that you could make BVS like instantly much better of a film, and it is by completely removing the desert scene. Now, the desert scene, what I'm referring to is Lois Lane, the bullet in the sand, and she goes around all these places to DC, and she's flying coach, economy plus. No, she's flying coach. If you have seen the movie probably multiple times, maybe if you don't know what I'm talking about if you've only seen it once, but if you've seen it a few times, you know what I'm talking about. And she goes to the desert and talks to the general dude, and then blah, 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 blah. Okay? To be honest with you, I know why they made that scene. The answer is very simple. It's to give Lois Lane a point in the movie, to have something to do. Because otherwise, she's just the damsel in distress that Superman is saving. And I agree that Lois Lane should not just be the damsel in distress that Superman is saving. Okay? But to give her this plot line that's not particularly interesting, and to be honest with you, it doesn't really go anywhere. Like, tell me off the top of your head, without like Googling or rewatching, how Lois Lane's discovery of the bullet in the desert and the material that it is made out of develops the conflict between Batman and Superman in a movie called Batman v Superman. Now, I've seen the movie almost 15 times, so I can tell you what it is. The answer is it really doesn't. it basically, it's a pointless plot line, especially given like Doomsday popping up at the end. I mean, it really doesn't fit anywhere in there. If you just remove that, now I will admit, the music over that scene where Superman comes in and decimates everybody is pretty sweet. But, and the action, of course, too. But the fact of it is, the story, it's just not essential. And you watch a movie like The Dark Knight, I'm sort of comparing it for that, the most iconic, Dark Knight trilogy movie, and in my opinion, probably the best DCEU movie with BVS. I know that's very controversial. A lot of people are going to say Wonder Woman. I get it. Okay, totally understand. But just for me, the biggest difference is that The Dark Knight, the plot, it's much more like fast, I suppose. It's not that BVS is boring. It's not a boring movie by any means. I'm just saying that it's a little bit slow to get to the good stuff. It's a little bit slow on action, a little bit short on action, to be honest with you. I think that they could have added a second fight for Batman and Superman. Like maybe after the chase where Bruce is in the Batmobile and then Superman that has that awesome scene like, do you bleed? And then he flies away. Like instead of flying away, maybe they could have had a fight there. And then like a little break and then the real fight, you know. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things they could have done. But especially removing the desert scene. Because it just doesn't do anything for the movie. It introduced KG Beast, okay? And in terms of like figuring out about Lex Luthor and arms deals with KG Beast and the terrorists, like it doesn't matter. This is Batman v Superman. Like let's just get to the fight, you know. I think they could have gone a lot more comic booky, if that's a word, which it's not, with it in terms of maybe like introducing other characters. Like I don't know. If you cut out the desert scene, and there's so many other things I would have rather seen in that film. Okay, let me give you an example. You have this Robin sort of figure and the Robin suit hanging. And if we get a flashback of the killing, not the Killing Joke, you know, a flashback of Robin being killed by the Joker, I mean, under the Red Hood, basically, that would be amazing. That would have been so good. And they could have intertwined that into Bruce's motivation. So you understand that Robin is dead, and that fuels Bruce's, like, cynicism for Superman and the world, kind of. It's like, shows why he's such a grouch. I mean, he always is, but he really is in BVS, as you all know. So they could have, like, tied that in there, and that like, explained some of his actions, but no, we get Detective Lane in the desert. I mean, it's just not that interesting. So if you just pull that entire sequence, you pull her going to DC, you just take that all out and add more comic book stuff. Add Robin flashbacks. Add Joker Batman interaction flashbacks. Like, shit like that would be amazing. You make that movie so much better. And even people that don't understand, that haven't seen Under the Red Hood, they don't know that Robin died. You explained it in the film, and it's infinitely more interesting. A flashback scene with Batman, Joker, and Robin compared to Lois Lane in the desert. I mean, come on. It's just a plot line you can just cut out completely and replace with other good stuff. Now, me personally, I've noticed with 2.5 hour long movies, I think it's a little bit long. I think that the 2 hour 10 minute, 2 hour 15 minute range is a really good range for these lengthy comic book films. And that's what most of them have been leaning towards as of late, to be fair. And I am amazed that people think the Ultimate Edition of BVS is better than the theatrical. I think that you're insane. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I really am flabbergasted that people think that. And I know I am in the minority here. Like, 100%. I know that most people are like, oh, the theatrical version sucks, but the Ultimate Edition is amazing. It's a masterpiece. That's what a lot of people think. I'm the complete opposite. I've seen the Ultimate Edition twice, and it is just 3 hours. It just exacerbates the problems that I'm talking about. Like, these filler plot lines that you don't need, that could be replaced with cool comic book shit, is just filler. It's just filler Lois Lane detective, filler Clark Kent interviewing people about Batman. I mean, it's cool to see, but the notion that they should have released a 3 hour... I mean, this is not like Titanic. Like, this is not 1997. You know, I mean, we can't release a 3 hour movie in theaters. Like, hello, we all have ADHD. You know, like, this is the era where people can't stay off their cell phones in an hour 30-minute movie. And we're gonna show a 3 hour movie of Lois Lane, like, going around the desert and interviewing people about a bullet. I mean, I don't know about that one. But I don't mean to demean anybody's opinions. I've like, approached this very negatively. You guys know I love BVS. It's not that at all. And it's not even the length. It's not that the movie's too long. It's just that there's plot lines in the movie that can totally be pulled, and it would make the movie better. It would make the movie more entertaining. It would make the movie sort of tighter in a way, more engaging, and overall just better. And that's just my honest opinion about it. Now, I've heard this, like, Justice League fan edit thing that evidently includes scenes from BVS in it. That would be really cool to see. I think there also was a lot of cool stuff missing from Justice League, but that was also a very good film, and I did like the time of it. Honestly, that movie could have been a little longer. They tried to keep it under 2 hours. I think, once again, the 2 hour 15, 220 range is really good for movies like that. And under 2 hours for Justice League when you're introducing Aquaman, Cyborg, like that was a little ambitious. But in any case, that's my opinion. The one way to make Batman vs Superman better is to remove the desert, bullet in the desert. And let me know if you agree or disagree. What do you think when you rewatch these scenes? Do you think that this is a very interesting plot line? I could definitely see how you would think that. Just let me know in the comment section below. My name is Slick Moth, and I'll see you guys in the next one.